Woke up at dawn, boots on my feet. The rooster's crow is my morning beat.
Welcome to Oak and Acorns. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Oak and Acorns. We're going to go into the woods and put up some game cameras and see what kind of animals we have up on the trails. Before we do though, let me show you the property here, what we call the ranch. It is it's really just a farm with a bunch of grassland that we use for the farm down the road for their cattle. And then we have a duck blind, a lot of waterfowl fly in here, geese and things. So this is the front farm, and then back in here is what we call the meadow or the woods. So follow us and we're going to take you in and show you how to hang up some game cameras. All right, ready boys?
Yep.
Okay. So this is a common game trail where animals come in and out. There's a lot of foot traffic in here. So elk, bear, deer, we've had bobcat, all kinds of things. So the kids love exploring in here. This is all conservation easement where, oh yeah, you can see elk rubs from years ago. I mean, they're very old. You can see where they rub up here. They have the velvet on their horns when they shed their antlers in springtime and they grow them back. And about summer, they get this velvet and they come in here and they scrape alders and scrape all kinds of trees because they want to scrape off all that velvet from their antlers. So this area was conservation easement from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. What they did is their goal was to help under conservation get different types of habitat to thrive. So they created these easements where they allowed kind of the property owners like us to manage with the U.S. Department of Agriculture all this space. There's a variety of different habitat from trees and marshlands that would kind of create this utopia, if you will, for animals. So we went from farm to trees, and now we're in this inner marsh area. This is the waterway, or what we call the oxbow. And in here we got all kinds of birds, ducks, geese, there's beavers, and all kinds of animals that come through here. And if you look down here, you can start to see some of the animal tracks. So don't get too close just yet, just back up a little bit so we can get something. But you can see there's deer already, because there's a smaller footprint, but then the bigger ones are elk. So where you get these big hoof prints. So like here's an elk with the two prongs in the front. And right here, we're going to cross a little waterway. And once we get to the other side, over here, we're going into that meadow, and that's where we get a lot of bears. So we're going to put up some game cameras in there and see what kind of critters we get. So we're going to cross the little waterway, and we'll be right back. All right, a couple things before we even took a couple steps. You can already see that there's some deer tracks here. And then over here, there's coyote. So you can see it's actually a dog footprint. Pretty small, but you can definitely see the deers coming through and coyote. Okay, all right, we're gonna keep going. Okay, ready? Okay. So we're looking for is where animals may hang out. Animals like people need the Maslow hierarchy of needs, which is food, water, and shelter. And that's really their ideal habitat is when they have shelter like this. If there's food sources like what you saw before, I mean, bears are foragers. They really like to have berries and shrubs and logs to tear apart. So this is ideal, especially for black bears. They like kind of wet, swampy area. And then deers, they like habitat where they can bed down but still have line of sight and see things and hear for predators. So this area right here is where we're probably going to set up one of the first cameras. And the reason why is there's a good tree right here, which is flat. Back up a little bit so we can see it. So it's flat, so we can change elevation of the camera up and down and tilt it if we want. And then it's also on a game trail. So if you turn around and show, right where we walked from, right down here, is a game trail. So it's a very common use place where animals transit in and out of this meadow. So we get high use coming in and out. So we're probably going to put a game camera right here, aimed at the trail, and see what we get walking through. Okay, we hung up the game camera. I like to keep it at arm's length, so that way it's just above my head level, but I can reach it with my arms to change it. Sometimes if it's too high, you need a ladder. But animals can actually get the game cameras if they're up low. Elk like to rub on them. Bear like the scent, so they'll come up and break them. I've even had bears climb up on trees and swat at them. So this is about a good height for me looking down at the trail. So we're going to keep on and hang up the last one, so follow us. Ready, boys? Ready. Okay. Looks like some deer tracks coming through here, Caleb. It's like maybe a mom and a doe. These are really small next to a really big. And I also see some raccoon tracks. I forgot about raccoons. You guys seen a raccoon track before? It kind of looks like a small cat, but they don't really, they have longer fingers. Okay, so now we're going into the back meadow, right this way. So hold on, let's see. Look, you can see all these tracks coming in through here. Animals really like this during the late summer and fall because they come in here and hang out, get some shade. There's moisture and water. So I think we're going to come in here, Caleb, and show everybody where we're at, this inner meadow. And we'll set up a game camera trail, I think right here. Right up here, show me. Yep, right there. And it'll kind of be facing down into the meadow, and we'll see what we get. I think this will be a good spot, nice and high enough off the ground. I think it's aiming in a good direction. And we'll just turn it on. Okay. Perfect. We'll get down and check it out. Adjust it a little bit. What do you guys think?
Good.
Yeah. I think it's in a good spot. Yep. All right. You guys remember how to get out of here?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Eli, do you know how to get us out of here?
Yep.
How do you know?
Memory.
Memory. And you memorize how we got in?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Now, what happens if you don't memorize how you got in? What do you do?
So you could either, if you bring a map or something, or an offline GPS, that could work.
That could work. Like our phones, I have Onyx on mine, so it helps to map where we are. What if you don't have a phone or a map?
Or then you could lay out, if you think you won't remember, like in the past, then you could probably like lay out
Markers, trail markers.
Yeah.
And sometimes flaggers tape. Yep. Colored flaggers tape. So it's always good to mark your route if you're taking long trips off grid or off site or in the backcountry. Yeah. We always carry hunter's tape or markers tape when we're out hunting. But today we know we're going back. So you ready to take us?
Yep.
Not going to get us lost?
No.
All right. Follow us. We'll see. All right, boys. Good luck. Well, the good news is that we walked in a bunch of mud. Yeah, it's a deer track. So you can follow our own tracks out. Oh, it's a rabbit. Oh, cool, we have rabbit. Okay, here we go. So we saw rabbit, frog, deer tracks, raccoon tracks. Haven't seen bear tracks yet. That's a daddy track, also a type of bear. Caleb says he knows how to get out. Is this the way we came? Where did we hang the first game camera? Oh, if it was back there, then what are we doing over here? Oh. So we hung our first game camera over here? I don't remember walking through this Jurassic Park grass.
Yeah, because a pond's over there, so, wait. Wait, we went down there, yeah, no, this isn't the right way.
Oh, it's not the right way. So now we gotta backtrack?
Yeah, we did. Oh, wait, this way.
2,000 years later.
Oh,
Okay, let's
well,
go
hey,
A.
where did we come in at?
A.
Can you guys see where we came in at?
No, nope.
Where did we come down a hill?
Yeah, I remember that, but wait, no.
Like
Oh yeah,
over there?
Under those trees.
Yeah, that's where we came down, so why don't we just go there?
Yeah,
Hey, that's why it's important to lift your head up too, right? Don't just look down for tracks. You want to lift your head up and make sure you know where your surroundings are. All right, we're in the home stretch. Thankfully, Daddy was here. I don't know, we would have made it out. You would have? I have faith in you guys.
It's just something on the bushes.
Oh, okay, another rabbit. I see the entrance. It's like the exit to a labyrinth.
Oh, what? Yeah, this is what I saw. I remember the deer marking.
That's right. You guys remember those markings. Good job. Okay, we're getting close.
Alright.
Gotta just plow through. Don't worry, the trees don't bite. Just their pine needles. Okay, good job. Freedom! Okay, well, we're gonna come back and check those game cameras, right?
Yep.
And we'll post and tell you what we find. Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.